Okay, so for this particular shot, we have, let me see if I can just play it through. So just following the tiger as he swipes at something up there, misses, and then starts running after it again. Okay. All right, so let's stop that. Now, the thing about the shot was that we decided we wanted to do first sim for this one, mostly because we've got this spot here where there should be some interaction between the fur and these objects that the tiger is brushing up against, especially here as the head comes down and off of that. So in order to accommodate fur, we needed, sorry, to accommodate for simulation, we needed to make sure that the mesh wasn't doing any funny things that would create problems. So we need to get rid of places where it's crashing through itself, say between feet or shoulder joints, things like that. And we also need to make sure that there weren't any crashing of the same kind between the tiger and the objects that that it would be that the fur would need to be interacting with. So these guys here. Um, Now, at one point, that ended up being an annoying task because I found that there were places in the handles where, places there were spots between frames where the geo was crashing. So it's like I'd come to a certain frame here. So this is an example of where I was getting crashing. So on this swipe here, like I initially moved it out so that this hand was not crashing through this, and then go to the next frame and it was not crashing through it, but there were places where between those two frames I was getting crashing. And so then when I went to do first sim, and I was the one who did the first sim in this case, well, really in all of the cases I've done the first sim on this guy, but anyway, so but I'd go do the first sim and then find, oh crap, I've got some problems here because of those between frame points where it was crashing. Anyway, so here we can see what some of the problems are. We've got some crashing there in the shoulder. We've got crashing between the limb, between the paw and this geometry here. Later on, it's crashing again through there and various other places as well. There are many places where it was we were having interaction problems between the paw and the proxy geo for these dryers or whatever they are. Whoops. And those all needed to be cleaned up. Along the way, anyway, so let's see. So we've got those spots there. Some problems with the shoulder here. Whoops, shoulder there. And you'll see some other problem points as well. So let's just come here. So here's our before and after in this area. You'll notice that here the shoulder isn't looking good. That's because, if I recall correctly, it was the case that the animators were given were given special controls for being able to tweak the shape of the shoulder. But I think a lot of the time the animators just kind of forgot about it. And so you'd end up with a collapsed shoulder blade. So I come along and I fix that. What else? Areas like here, before and after. So now I'm getting some folds in there. I'm fixing the collapsing there. I'm fixing the shoulder blade. You'll notice, by the way, that back here, this area has gotten smoothed out. That's because there are areas like this where, rather than trying to make it pretty, I decided to just kind of smooth it out because it wasn't going to be visible in the camera, and this was kind of the quickest way to make it not create problems for sim. Let's see. So we come through here. And so for these areas, I'm just lifting it out of the way, whereas before it was crashing through. Now it's not. Same thing with these areas. So there would have been crashing there. Now there's not. You'll notice also that I've gone in and fixed this perpetual problem with that corner of the mouth, or no, it's further back. Whenever it does this, we get these. Where is it? Not important. Anyway, probably here. Yeah, there. There, we're getting this funny shape there in the muzzle. By the way, the whiskers here, it doesn't matter that they're doing this. This is a result actually of my shot sculpting, but I don't care because those whiskers are just they're just for visibility. They don't actually drive anything. Anyway, so yeah, so we go like that. Clean up all of those contact points before, after. Had to fix the head position in a few cases, and then other notable spots are like over here where the knee was jutting into the rib cage. Had to clean that up again because it was this particular area was out of camera. I just sort of smoothed it out. Yeah, and you may also notice that there are times where even back here, even in my version, the tail's crashing through the ground. That's because we weren't going to do any. We weren't going to use the ground as a glider in the first sim. Anyway, yeah. So a bunch of different fixes before, after, again, the scapulas in that case. And that's the gist of it for this shot.